here with Cathryn Hartt
Yay.
of HarttandSoul Studios. This is my good friend as well as my acting teacher. I've been with her for almost 4 years now.
I like to torture him. He takes torture really well. He used to have hair before he started working with me, but you know, it comes and goes.
Yeah. But look, everyone, I believe we all have our ancient Chinese secret. This is my ancient Chinese secret.
Are you calling me an ancient Chinese?
No, I'm not calling you an ancient
I'm very
Chinese.
confused here.
No, I'm just calling you my secret ingredient.
Oh, okay.
She's my secret weapon.
Okay. Like a fabulous Chinese herb. I'm a Chinese herb now. Somehow that makes me feel better. At least I'm not ancient. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So, Cathryn.
Yes.
Why do you think I call you my secret weapon?
Because I slap you around like crazy.
Yeah.
Because we have synergy. We both work hard at what we do. We both try to be the best we can at what we do. We don't take anything for granted. We both try and bring something to the game. I know I can always count on you when you come in as a client. I'm not going to have to come up with ideas for us to do. Not that I mind doing that, but you always come in the door going like, okay, I got this idea. And I think we need to work on this. And so I find that that's the best way to create together is when, everybody's bringing something to the table. It's like a democracy. We have to come in and mix it up around, have a few debates and things like that and throw some stuff out and then decide, okay, I think we came up with something. You just kind of have to mush it together. And I think that even if you're a really creative person, you always need somebody else to sort of, give you a poke here and there. Because you'll think of things, it'll open doors that you wouldn't have opened. The door was there, you just wouldn't have gone there totally the way you would have. So,
yeah. Now, you're heralded as the #1 acting teacher in Texas. How is that? Who determined that? Who gave you #1?
First of all, I would like to say that there are a lot of really amazing coaches out there. And one of my philosophies, and I think it sort of goes along with you too, is the only thing I don't believe in is when you read a book or you work with someone and they say, I'm the only way. I really think that you should be like a sponge, that you learn from all sorts of people out there. There are many wonderful people out there. So, it's like when you get an Academy Award for a movie. There's some amazing movies out there. We just happen to pick one. But at any rate, Backstage.com, the People's Choice Award was where I got that one. And I've gotten some other awards for being the best acting coach in Dallas. But they're just extremely wonderful people here. So, one of my philosophies really is, and we agree on this too, I think, is generosity of spirit. That's the best way to be the best that you can be, is by helping other people to be the best that they can be. You all get better together. Yeah. So I even though I'm very grateful for that, the award and for people voting for me, I certainly would like to give, equal appreciation to all the excellent people who are out there teaching and giving so much to other people, you know. Yeah.
Okay, you said something, and this would have been like my second or third lesson that I had with you. And so, and I audited other teachers here in the area, and I said a prayer to ask, for that right teacher to come along and take me to the next level. And you told me something where it was this, and I did not tell you that. I said a prayer I'm looking for. And you told me that you had been praying recently for, do you remember what you asked?
I never remember anything.
She's actually blonde.
I'm just an acting coach. I don't have to remember anything.
Yeah, right. Just the next line.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. And then when you don't need the next line, then you don't have to remember it anymore.
Yeah,
Just go on to something else.
Yeah, that's being organic, right?
Yeah.
Just living in the moment.
Yeah. Or being a ditz, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, right.
Being stupid. I'll agree to that too.
Yeah.
I don't consider that an insult if someone tells me I'm stupid or weird or crazy. I just think, and you pay me for that. Yay. That's so great. So what was the prayer?
You told me that you prayed to God that He would send you the people that truly were in this business, pursuing this craft, for excellence, for the truth within the craft of acting. It was something to that extent.
I've always, I'm very spiritual, not religious necessarily, but very spiritual. I do my own thing. I'm accountable to being kinder every moment and being generous, and I don't always succeed at those two things, and that's a big enough problem for me right there. So I don't put a lot more rules into it yet. But I've always felt like acting is really just sharing your heart deeply with another human being. And when I started this studio, I started it from the cinders of Dark Night of the Soul. And we won't go into my personal story, but I had to do this studio, but I was at a stage in my life that I've done things that I've had to do before. And I know that you never have to do something without a purpose. And I really asked God to bring me people that I could communicate with deeply from your soul. I think acting is from your soul. I think you build a character with a soul. And that means, you have struggle and hardships and rich depth of pain that teaches you amazing lessons. And I asked for joy. That's what I really asked for joy. Like real joy, not happiness, but like you look at a beautiful sky and joy goes through your soul, that kind of joy. And I asked for people that I could communicate with deeply. From my heart, from my soul, no pun intended for the heart and soul, but I really do. There is a reason I call it that, and you're one of those people. And in fact, a lot of our conversations when we work are sometimes spiritual development or something in your life that is blocking you, and that's very important, I think, to creative people to understand the lessons you are learning, because they will open up, your creativity and your whole movie, your book, your movie. This is your life. You wouldn't have been in God's good grace to be able to, help to share your story with others, to help other people, which is the thing we talked about a lot. That's really a lot about what's behind what you do. And that's why we get along so well. And I really love when someone, it isn't just about doing another project. I don't think it ever should be. You have to find something that you love, you're passionate about, or it's not there. And I certainly feel like in this project, as you're learning and stumbling and getting better, because you learn really fast.
Thanks.
I watched Marcus, I've heard a lot of people say, how am I going to make a movie? I'm going to write a book. Listen, I've been writing a book for about 25 years and it's never been finished. So I admire when people actually say, I'm going to write a book, and then we talk about it, and then you come in and say, it's at the publishers. I found an editor, it's at the publishers. Would you like a copy? And you just, I'm going to do a movie. Okay, well, here's a script. We started it. You want to work on the script with me? Okay. What do you think we should do? Okay. And, 2 months later, all right, now we've got the finished script, and I need to get a crew to film this. Let's get it cast and let's shoot. and then you have a product. And that's Marcus, and a lot of people have an idea. A lot of people can produce something and, make something come to life. But a lot of times you don't find it in the same person. And that's what I think you really, have going for you, because you learn. I mean, you learn how to produce, you learned how to write, you learned how to, get the job done, and how to find all the people to, to do those jobs that you can't do yourself really well. And you learn how to be a producer and kick butt when they weren't, and you get the product done. So, I've always admired that in you, that no matter what, when you come in and say you're going to do something, by God, you're going to do it, and I better keep up with, how fast you're going to want to do it. So I like it when people keep me on my toes, too.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, look, all I can tell you is and I know I get a chance to say it, but I just thank you so very much for everything that you've given to me. And when she talked about the dark night of the soul, there are many days that I've come in, and because Cathryn is a person that I can take that journey with the soul with, and she gets to see the depth of it in the darkness. And there are days where she's had to pick me up off the floor because I'm just like, that's it, Cathryn, I'm done, I can't do this, and she picks me up. She'll kick me in my butt when I need kicking.
Just stop it, Marcus.
So.
Stop doing that and get up and let's do something right now.
That's right.
Just go.
Right.
Yes. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, that's what she does. And so without a doubt, there's something that I heard one time: 2 is stronger than 1, and 3 is stronger than 2, and 4 is stronger than 3. And without meeting you, I do not think I would be in this position right now. So. Oh,
well, that's really sweet. I appreciate it. And likewise, I really agree with what you were just saying there, because that's how I feel as a coach and working with people. I've been an actor my whole life too. I never thought I would love anything, to do as much as acting, but I really love coaching as much as I do acting, because both of them are, basically the same thing to me, from the bottom of your soul. But I have always believed, and I learn more and more every day, that you learn from everybody. And if you're telling somebody something, it's probably something you're supposed to be listening to that day too. You never give a lesson to someone else that isn't a lesson for you.
Wow. And
that I learn as much from my students as I do as you guys learn from me. Mm-hmm. And I really I encourage people to never think you've reached a place where you really are beyond growing, that you've reached the pinnacle, because, wow, how boring is life then? It's creativity. There's no end game. It can always be better, can always be different. And there's so many life lessons and spiritual lessons that we share when we're working together on projects, that it makes it beautiful. Like I purposely work with everything that I do with a purpose. When I work with students, oftentimes one of the first things I'll do with you is I'll say, why? Why do you... What is your power? What is your purpose? What did God give you? And again, I don't mean to be religious. I'm just speaking in basic terms here. But
you say universe if you want.
Yeah. Well, what was the gift that was given to you, that when you do this, you feel right about who you are? And you must do that when you create. You have to do that when you act. You have to step into that place, because that's where your real light is, and that's where you'll shine. And that's when you're truly in your power in that zone. It's so easy. It's so fun. And I think most people have felt that when you wouldn't be performing if you hadn't. You just feel like you're connected to the universe, and that's sort of in God's good grace at that moment. And you really, it's important for you to stay in that place, to get in that place. And when I first started working with you, you totally got it when I talked to you in those kind of terms. Sometimes I'll speak in different kinds of terms to different kinds of clients that, I'll talk in the language that you understand. But you got it when I just went straight to the meat, and said, well, what's your higher purpose here? What do you really, what's going to be behind everything you create? And to me, that's what makes it worthwhile. And that's why we'll work so hard. Mm-hmm. You never stop working for something that you truly love, So.
Yes.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, it's not work.
No.
It's not a job. It's not work. It's not a 4-letter word.
It's really rough play.
Yeah.
For really long hours that you're you're playing until you can't play anymore. Exactly. But you can always stay positive. You always get back to that positive place. You can always find something positive in anything you're doing. There's a lesson, there's something. Move forward. Get over it, move forward.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you ever expect to ever act in another movie again, Cathryn?
I never expected to not act in another movie again.
Okay.
But I'm an old fart, so there aren't many good parts written for old fart actresses. Although there are plenty of things out there. But honestly, I never meant to stop acting. It's just I coach 15 hours a day pretty much right now, and I don't really have time to do my stuff. But I'd love to do it. And I act all the time because I act with you guys all the time in class. I do audition tapes. I act with you there. I break scripts down for people all the time. So I'm always working my skills and taking out for a spin. So it is. I don't ever feel like, oh, I'm not doing what I love. I do it all day and all night long. But yes, I would love to. Why are you casting me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You have been cast.
I don't know if you can afford my.
Oh.
A little talk.
Well, okay.
Okay.
All
and
right.
I want talk.
Your
credits.
people talk to my people?
Yeah, exactly.
People talk to your people?
Yeah.
Okay.
And top
All
billing. Cathryn and Marcus.
All right.
We'll be equal.
That's right. All right. Thank you, and have a great day.
Okay. Take care.
All right. Good stuff.